people are haggling over the prices of jewelry, and he pretty much recommends that you do the same. He said that if he could find someone to buy his jewelry, he'd be willing to sell it pretty much at cost at this point. You know, just a little teeny weeny bit of a profit to make it through. But they're not looking. These jewelry stores, normally jewelry is spiked up. You know, it's marked up to 1,000%. And he's saying they're not. You know, right now in this type of economy, you really can't do 1,000% markup.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be pretty hard.
Right, but as a consumer, though, once again, it's consumer beware. Maybe instead of walking into the first store and buying the first item that you see that you like, you may have to do a little bit of shopping around just so you can kind of get a good feel as to what a fair market price might be for a jewelry item. Still another article from the LA Times, and this is something that actually happened to me. It just says that no holiday joy for beauty salons is the title of the article. And it just reminds me of what happened to me over the Christmas holiday season. I needed to get my hair done. And I have two hairstylists. I have one that's more of a high-end hairstylist, and I go to her, you know, 2 to 3 times a year to get my hair cut. And then the other times I need to get a touch-up because I have my hair just to kind of relax it a little bit. So I go to someone that's more economical for that because I don't want to spend a whole lot of money for a relaxer because that's more of a chemical treatment. And it's not the skill set for that, even though they're both pretty, you know, you still have to be skilled. I just think that someone that can cut your hair, anyway, it's just been hard for me to find someone that I really feel comfortable with cutting my hair. So anyway, it's Christmas holiday season. I was going to treat myself to a nice haircut, call my hairstylist, and actually I saw her like maybe a couple of months ago. So I didn't think anything of it, and I called to schedule an appointment, and lo and behold, she's out of business. And I was stunned. I didn't know that. So I thought, well, never mind. Don't have to worry about that too much because I always have this backup salon that I go to, the smaller salon. And I just call them and just have them cut my hair. I mean, I've gone to them often enough where they can cut my hair. I just wanted to trim anyway. And lo and behold, they're out of business too. So here I am in Chicago too, and these are not small shops. These are really, one of them is a chain. So it's a part of a chain, and then the other one is a standalone shop. But it was a few years ago, it was a booming shop. And so according to this article in the LA Times, they're saying that your beauty salon owners are struggling a lot in this type of economy because going to a beauty salon, it's more of a luxury.
Yeah,
than
manicures, pedicures are probably a little more elective.
Right.
For most people.
Right. And so this one lady is saying that she's doing everything, even washing her own hair. Not that I don't know too many people that don't wash their own hair.
Oh my God, she's washing her own hair.
I know. But
what's the world coming to?
I know. But anyway, it's just something that I guess because once again these are your smaller stores. You know, it's not when you think about companies going out of business, you think about the ones that are, you know, one of the big Dow Jones companies that went under. We don't think about how this economy is hurting so many small businesses. So I think you have an article that deals with a trucking company that went under.
Yeah, we were listening to the radio. I think this was actually Christmas Eve morning, if I'm not mistaken, and we were listening to some internet radio. And they had some people calling in about some truckers that got stranded. And what had happened, there's a large company, Aero Trucking, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And these truckers were on the road, and they went to get gas, and all of a sudden, boom, their gas cards were cut off. And they called into the company, and the company had basically just shut down in the middle of the day or middle of the night or whatever, and they were just went under and left all these people stranded at truck stops, gas stations, you know, wherever. And a lot of them still had merchandise they were trying to deliver, and one trucker was talking about how he's trying to negotiate with the company he was delivering to get, you know, paid. Right. For bringing it to him. So it was a really bad situation. Just the whole thing was handled just terribly. And so, you know, this is just, it was a pretty large company. I guess the thing was that normally things like this happen to smaller companies, let's say, you know, 20 trucks or so. But this firm actually had like 1,400 flatbeds and 2,500 larger trucks on the road. And, you know, it's just a terrible thing. I mean, I can't imagine right before Christmas being stranded someplace, you know, can't get back to your family, have no, you know, obviously you probably can't put your personal funds into trying to, you know, drive the truck home. I'm sure they take a lot of money. Maybe that's what they had to do. But there was, I guess, a number basically to call to drop your truck off at the local truck dealership and then make arrangements for getting a bus ride someplace. But what if you weren't close to a bus? I mean, these guys travel, you know, through remote areas, you know. Right. So just a terrible thing. Right.
So I think that's signs of, you know, anytime you have a business, and I think that's one of the things that kind of caught people off guard. Most of the time you have like a little bit of a warning, a heads up. Most businesses will file bankruptcy. and then you'll see people getting terminated in this way. But here, they didn't file bankruptcy or anything, so I think a lot of the truckers are pretty much caught off guard.
Yeah, and they do say that trucking's down like 20 to 30% over what it was a couple of years ago. Just the industry in general.
Right.
And they run on low margins,
Right.
most of them. So I guess they're very susceptible to the downturn in the economy.
So that's something that bears watching, because we live in a society that's very just-in-time delivery system. And so when you have all these truckers that are going under, and we're depending on them, I think we depend more on truck traffic than we do on rail traffic. I know we use a lot of rail traffic as well to transport merchandise. I also looked up aero trucking, and I noticed that a lot of their transportation, they do a lot of trucking between Mexico, the United States, and Canada.
Okay.
So that might give you some sort of a clue as to what type of inventory, because that's the other thing I want to know. What type of inventory were they transporting? Because we do live in a just-in-time delivery system, so that can kind of give us a heads up. If you go to the stores and you see some store shelves that are kind of empty, it might be because the merchandise just isn't getting there.
Yeah, I know that the one guy on the radio said he had like Kenmore appliances.
Okay.
So maybe they were made in Mexico and they were shipping them someplace.
Right.
So.
Now, I have an article from the Washington Post, and this goes along with what you were talking about, your first story about unemployment benefits running out. Here's a state, Maryland, they're hurting for money just all over the place. So basically what they're doing is they are having a casino placed in one of their shopping malls, which is unusual. I've never
like a
seen
state-run casino? State-run?
Yeah, I don't know if it's state-run or not. I didn't say if it's state-run. But they did say that they expect a lot of the revenue to come into the state.
Okay.
And so, I think it's not state-run, because I think they gave a permit. There were two people that were up for a permit. They had space available, I guess, in this shopping mall area. It was either a racetrack or it was the casino. And they went for the casino because they felt like the casino would bring in more revenue than a racetrack, which I could say that's true. I mean, if you're out shopping, if you're wanting to go gambling or whatever, I guess if there's a casino in the shopping mall, you might want to do I could see a woman, but I can see myself going shopping, and then, Gary, you're bored, and so you go to the casino slot
machines?
The slot machine and try and make some money so I can spend some more. But anyway, it's so funny, though, because I thought about this, and I thought, as the economy gets worse and people are tight on their budget, I'm not so sure that the casino industry is even a good industry to be in. And when these states are saying that they're depending on this type of revenue to help increase their budgets, I'm not sure how much revenue they're going to get from this.
Well, sometimes too, taking the devil's advocate is when times are tough, people are looking for, they're almost to the point of, trying to figure out, okay, this is a way maybe I can make some money.
Right.
If they're gambling, sometimes it has the opposite effect. Sometimes when the economy's bad, people gamble.
Right.
Because they're just looking for some quick money coming in. So.
And since I don't really gamble, I don't know. My assumption is that it's something that you do more for recreation, not really for making money, because I don't know anyone, to be honest. I don't even know anyone that won the lottery. I think I had an aunt that played the lottery, and I think she always said she broke even. She won some, she lost some. I suspect she didn't break even. I actually think she probably was in the hole. But it was it was actually a bit of a habit for her. But I just, I guess I don't know how many people go gambling really expecting to make a lot of money. I just don't know. I mean, that'd be an interesting statistic to look up. I mean, do people really get rich gambling?
Well, I don't know how many get rich, but a lot get rich trying to get rich. But
right.
I mean, there's always that's a whole other topic, if you get into people that have a gambling problem. But and for most people, I think it's just more of a recreational thing.
Right. That's what how I see it. And so if the economy is cut back, and if I only have, let's say, XYZ dollar available to me, I just don't see myself going to a casino trying to make money. I guess playing the devil's advocate, I'm just not seeing how casinos, I guess in the past when we were in a good economy, and if you were looking for ways to generate money and going to a gambling casino, I kind of see that more as a luxury, and I can see that as a way for states to bring in additional money. But here in Maryland, having it in the shopping mall, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, we won't know, I guess, until this goes through and they start having the facility available. They said it's not going to be available. Looks like not for another year or so. So looks like they got the 2011 time frame.
Yeah, the one thing they got going for them though is that, like most places, like out here in Chicago, you have to go to a boat, and they're not just they're not there. You have to make a special trip to be there. If it's in a mall, it may get a lot more foot traffic, get a lot more people just casually doing it. So it's a possibility. It could be a good business model for them.
Right. Okay, well, we have to pack, so we're actually going to end the show early. Do you have another article?
No, that's it.
Okay, so that's it for this week. If you want to give us shoot us an email or anything like that, you can contact us at GaryandCrystalShow@yahoo.com. That's Gary, GaryAnd, Crystal, CrystalShow, SHOW, @yahoo.com.
We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.